So I'm a really avid cyclist. I do a couple hundred miles a year. I used to do a couple thousand miles a year. And even though cycling is fun, one of the problems that you get is that it can be really boring. And so the temptation is to listen to music or listen to a podcast. The problem with that is that when you're using typical closed ear headphones, so the kind of earbuds that go into your ear and seal out all the noise, you can't hear anything around you. So you can't hear cars, you can't hear school buses like the one I just passed. You can't hear anything. And that, of course, is a problem. Never really liked open ear headphones like these ones that I'm wearing from Raycon. And I've seen these on like everybody's channel. They've sponsored tons and tons of YouTubers. So this is a sponsored post, but I only do sponsored content for things that I like and I would buy with my own money, and I would buy these with my own money. The link to purchase the Raycon Essential Open Earbuds is in the description below, and they were nice enough to give me a 20% coupon that I could pass along to you. Use the code DaveTriesThisOpen at checkout to save 20%. So typical headphones are really bad when you're riding on the street. Then a lot of people are like, well, I'm on a bike trail. I can listen to headphones and not have a problem because there's no cars. But when you're on a bike trail, there's usually other cyclists there. There's sometimes kids on their bikes. There's families out for a walk. If you have closed earphones, you can't hear any of that. So I'm guilty of having ridden on occasion with closed ear headphones on a trail, and then somebody comes whizzing up behind you. They ring their bell. You can't hear it. They pass right by your bike. It's dangerous. But the audio quality is really good. I can hear what's going on around me. And right now, I'm listening to music. But even though I'm listening to music, I can still hear everything. And I'm not shouting because it's not overwhelming me, and the music sounds great. I travel a lot for work. Some years I do like 70, 80,000 miles. I'm in a lot of places I haven't been before. One of my favorite things to do is just go for long walks. And so I'll schedule an extra day, or between meetings, I'll just go and walk around a city. I'll find a nice area. I'll go sit at a coffee shop, have some coffee, read a book, get up, walk around for a while, go take pictures. But sometimes after walking around for a while, I'll suddenly get the desire to listen to some music or a podcast, but I don't want to shut myself out completely from what's going on around me. The problem is if I use in-ear headphones, it's going to basically shut out everything. So for example, I was in Singapore a couple weeks ago. It is a fantastic city. If you ever have the chance, you should go. Drop me a comment. I'll tell you what to do with food and entertainment. Anyhow. So I'm walking around and I want to listen for some reason to Pearl Jam. That just sort of popped into my head. I haven't listened to Pearl Jam in like a decade. I'm not even all that into Pearl Jam, but I really wanted to listen to them. I had my normal headphones with me. I didn't want to pop them in because I didn't want to shut everything else out. So I ended up walking around and not listening to music, even though I had headphones with me. With these headphones, I could be walking around a city and still hear what's going on. So for example, I can hear the dogs barking behind me. That would be nice if I'm walking through a park. I could hear the street vendors calling out about food. I could hear the birds going overhead. So these headphones aren't all about safety, they're about enjoyment. Let's talk about the design of these Raycon earphones. The ear hook is one of my favorite features. It's flexible, it's comfortable, it goes easily over the ear. I had a pair of really expensive exercise-specific headphones like these, but I ended up giving them away because the hook always rubbed my ears, and after a few miles, they'd start to get like really irritated. These ones don't do that. They even fit really nicely under my glasses. My other ones didn't, so if I was riding a bike, I couldn't wear sunglasses. If I was listening to music, I don't understand that at all. The only real problem that I have with these is that sometimes I forget that I'm wearing them if I'm not playing music, and that's a good kind of problem. But what ends up happening is if I'm not playing music, I'll suddenly feel like I don't have an earphone on my head, and I reach up there and panic. I don't know if this happens to you too, but my ears always get really itchy when I wear in-ear earbuds all day. It's not a problem here because nothing is in my ear canal. Buttons are easy to press, there's no hunting around for them, no accidentally adjusting the volume when you mean to just skip a track. The case is just a little bit bigger than most of the earbud cases I've used, but it fits in a pocket just fine. The sound quality is a lot better than I expected. These go for $80, and I've had headphones that cost $300 or $400 that don't sound on par with these headphones. The bass is surprisingly nice and balanced. A lot of inexpensive headphones just pump the bass to make it sound like you have a really good set of earphones. These don't do that. They go for a more natural bass sound. And they kind of have to since there's no way to seal them into the ear to reinforce that low-end sound. So this is a much more natural bass. Raycon says that you get about 8 hours of runtime with the headphones, and then a case holds about another 36 hours. I've never used these for more than 4 or 5 hours, so I haven't tested that full amount of charge yet, but they have plenty of battery power left when I check it after I've been playing it for hours. The case charges wirelessly or USB-C, which is convenient, and a lot of headphones at this price don't do wireless charging at all. It's got multi-point Bluetooth, which lets them connect to 2 devices at once, which kind of caught me off guard the first time it happened. I couldn't figure out why I was listening to both music and my favorite podcast, My Brother and Me, at the same time. It's also cool that they're rated IPX5 for water resistance, so rain during a bike ride isn't really a problem. They come in a bunch of colors: carbon black, this is the midnight blue, blush violet, and cool mint. I couldn't figure out if I was going to get the blue or the violet. How do you think these look? Let me know in the comments. So my takeaway is if you're looking for a pair of headphones and you don't want to spend a lot of money, say around $80, this is a fantastic setup for you. If you want to get a pair of headphones at a good price that are even less expensive than $80, remember to use the code DaveTriesThisOpen when you click the link in my description below. Have you used any of Raycon's other headphones before? They've offered to send me some others to try out in the past, and I'm wondering if you've used like the bone conducting ones or any other ones. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Also, while you're watching this, your kid's school bus driver called.
We need to talk about how your kids behave on the bus. But first, like and subscribe.
For Dave Tries This, I'm David Schloss, and as always, thanks so much for giving this a try.